Hi, my name is Sean Calgill. This is me at Federal Camp in Florence, Colorado. So this is part 2 of my first day at Federal Prison Camp. My last video, I checked in at 10:30 in the morning. I told you what everything happened until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had to do a 52-month sentence for wire fraud at Florence, Colorado, at a federal prison camp. Out of the 52 months, I got out of the prison 27 months later. I had to do 5 months in a halfway house. Now I'm on federal probation. I got out about 10 months ago. It's October 10th, 2020, and I'm making this video to put your mind at ease if you're looking at going to federal prison camp. To me, it was club fed, and it was really easy, and my life's not over. It didn't end. I got through it, and I want you to know you can get through it too. If I had to go to a medium or a penitentiary, I don't think I would have made it. I'd have been somebody's bitch. But I did a white-collar crime. I did tax preparation. I fraudulently filed taxes for a bunch of homeless guys and drug addicts, and I got them all refunds. None of them had real jobs. I put fake stuff down, and I got them earned income credits. And I'll do another video on that. And I'm guilty. I did the crime, and I've done the time, and I don't ever want to go back, and I don't ever have to go back. So if you're anything like me, you've been indicted, you're on pretrial, and you don't know if you're getting probation or 10 years in prison or what, and you're scared. I was scared. I didn't know what federal prison was going to be like. I watched YouTube videos, and a lot of it was, there wasn't much on white-collar and federal prison camps. There's a couple guys like RDAP Dan and Walt Pavlo who have some good videos out there, and both those guys helped me. I didn't have money to afford to hire them, but I called them, and Walt Pavlo put $100 on my books every month while I did my time. And RDAP Dan, from some of his videos, he got some people to donate some money. He put some money on my books too, and those guys really helped me out. So I'm trying to return a favor and put people's mind at ease. If you've been indicted and you're on pretrial and you're scared like I was, you're going to make it through prison camp. You're probably going to a low or a camp. If you're watching this video and you saw the titles, I don't think if you're did bank robbery, you're going to be watching my video. But maybe you want to know what prison camp was like. So there's 5 kinds of prisons you can go to. You can go to a camp, you can go to a low, a medium, a high, or a penitentiary, or the ADX Supermax. So I self-surrendered, and people only self-surrender to a camp or a low. I've never heard of anybody self-surrendering to a medium. So my last video, I told you how I had to self-surrender. My friends dropped me off, and I went in, and there was a lady picked me up in a little pickup truck at the side of the road, brought me in, checked me, they changed my clothes out, gave me a little tour of that building. They were really nice to me. I was so surprised how nice the guards are, or the COs. Really nice, really nice. Some of them are idiots. Some of them, don't really want to be there or don't want to do the work for you. But they treat you with dignity. They treated me with dignity. There's a few assholes, but for the most part, the camp was run mainly by women, which were really nice ladies. I didn't have a big problem with the guards or the Fed, with the COs or the wardens or nothing like that. Matter of fact, the warden helped me start some AA meetings in there. I'll do another video about that because there was no AA when I got there. So I got to start a meeting. I wrote letters to AA. They sent me books and literature. And so I've been clean off drugs now for like 4 years, but I had a drug problem when I went in there, and I got to do the RDAP program, which took a year off my sentence. Also gave me 5 months halfway house. I'll do a video how to get into RDAP. Right now, RDAP's closed because of this pandemic, but it's going to open up soon. Right now, it's probably not a good time to turn yourself in because they're making you do 14 days of quarantine. They're going to throw you in the shoe for 2 weeks. And then when you do get to the camp, I don't think they're running in and out of the building like we did all day. So at a camp, there's no fences. And during the day, and from like 6 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, you're free to go in and out of the building all day long. Go walk the track, go play in the music room. I played a lot of guitar. I had I got some guys together. We had a little rock band. There's a lot of rec and stuff to do at a camp. There's enough to keep you busy. So anyways, back to my first day. So I'd already checked in. I got my blanket and everything and pillow. No, I didn't have a pillow, but a towel, and assigned a locker and a bed, and it's a little cubicle area. I didn't have a cellie at the time. One came like 3 days later, and a bunch of guys are coming up to me. I was surprised how nice guys were, and I didn't trust them. I was afraid somebody's going to make me their bitch, and as much as all these guys like RDAP Dan and Walt Pablo told me that you got nothing to worry about at a camp, I still was worried. But I need to tell you, man, you're going to get through this. Your life's not over. I'm 56 years old. My life's not over. I had to go in when I was 53. Had a couple birthdays in there and Christmases, and you're going to get through it. The average time in a camp, I think, is about 5 years. So I had a 4-year, 4-month sentence. But there's ways to get out early. There's programs. There's RDAP, and there's good time. And now the First Step Act, and I'll talk about that in a later video, where you can take programs and turn those into credits and trade that in for halfway house time or home confinement. And now they got the early compassionate releases going, and so you may not have to do your whole time. So anyways, it's 2 o'clock now, and guys just told me there's a 4 o'clock count coming, and then we're going to go to chow. So they decided to give me the tour of the building. So there's about 500 inmates in my camp. We were never more than about 450. So about 220 guys in each building. We had 2 buildings. There's like 100 on the top floor, 100 on the bottom floor. So each floor had 4 ranges or hallways. They call them ranges. And 3 or 4 TV rooms, depending on which building, on each floor. So I get a tour. The first thing they show me is the bathrooms. And I want to tell you, yes, the bathrooms lock. They're like regular bathrooms you see at an airport or, at a public, restaurant. I mean, the doors close, they lock. You have all the privacy you want. The showers have half doors. They can see your face from here up. But nobody goes near the showers. Nobody's going to drop the soap on you. Okay, there's in a camp, they don't allow chomos, that's a child molester, or chesters, or any kind of pedophiles are not allowed in a camp. They go to the lows. A lot of them in the lows. Heard stories. I didn't have to go to a low, thank God. So any gangs like Norteños, Sureños, have you heard of those guys? They're not allowed in camps either. Some of them slipped through because they didn't get caught with those charges. They got caught with other charges. There's a lot of drug dealers in the camp. About half of our population was paisas, that's Mexican guys. I think they're American citizens because they have to be in a camp, but they were born in Mexico or they have ties to Mexico. And they kind of ran whatever you wanted to get in the camp. I mean, there's alcohol and cigarettes and all kinds of stuff in the camp. That's another video. So they showed me the bathroom, and we had 4 showers. Each range had its own bathroom. Each range had about 30 guys in it, I guess. So you get your own bathroom. We had 4 sinks, 4 on each side. Showers on one side, toilets on the other, and 4 sinks. So we had 4 toilets, 4 sinks, 4 toilets, 4 showers, and 8 sinks. And everything's clean. There's an inmate's job. He cleans the bathroom, and these guys are usually on it, and they'll come and get at you if you're messing up their bathrooms. So then there's the TV rooms. So here's the race issue is not that big of a deal at a camp, but they do have their own TV rooms, and they do sit at their own tables at chow. Although you can get invited in, and nobody's going to beat you up because you sat with the blacks at their table during chow. Nobody's going to beat you up afterwards. And there's some guys that they only hung out with the blacks and they were white. You see some of that, but it's not a race thing. But the TV rooms have like 16 chairs, and there's a waiting list for those chairs, and there's a waiting list to get on the waiting list. So I was told it'd be like 2 years before you even get on the waiting list to get your own chair in the white TV room. But when there's nobody in the TV room, like in the mornings and the afternoons, it's okay to sit in there. But at nighttime, all those shows come on. The Walking Dead, Animal Kingdom, the sports games and all that. You're not going to get a chair. So there's a white room. There's the black room. There's the Paisa room or the Mexican room. Then there's the Texas room. And I found out most of those Texas guys are Mexicans from Texas, but they called it the Texas room. And RDAP had a room called the Freaks and Geeks room, and it was a lot of the gay guys and geeks. And I'm a Star Trek fan, so I kind of got that. That's what I said. Oh, I like Star Trek. Can I sit in here? So I did. I never had a chair, but so you're not going to watch a lot of shows that you like in those TV rooms unless you're going to buy a chair. People do sell their chairs, but we have rec rooms that have TVs in them, and there's sports games and news and stuff going on, and you can watch TV in the daytime. There's a lot of other things to do. So I get to tour all this. There's a laundry room. You can do your own laundry. You can buy the soap from Commissary. The laundry's free. You don't put quarters in or nothing. There's like 4 washing machines and 4 dryers, and they're always full, and there's always a wait. And there's guys, their hustles in there. They wash clothes for other people, and they're hounding the machines. But there's times when they're not there, and you can do your own laundry. Or you can take your bag of laundry to the laundry facility, and they'll do it for you. And that's what I did. But there's guys, part of their hustle, they're going to wash and iron your clothes and fold them for you and bring them to you. And they don't charge a whole lot of money. Maybe they charge you $5 a week, and that's their hustle. There's lots of ways to make money in federal prison, and that's a whole nother video. Can you do me a favor? So I'm making these videos because I'm laid off right now from the restaurant business because of this pandemic. I was cooking for a drug program, and anyways, that all shut down. And so I have some time. I want to make these videos for the guy like me who was scared to go to federal prison and what it's really like, and maybe I can help you out with some ways to get some time taken off your sentence and some tips, and just to let you know your life's not over. But if you can hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I can do live videos. I can do questions and answers, and I could also start getting money for the ads on YouTube, but you got to have 1,000 subscribers. I got a long way to go. So anyways, I get the tour, and there's some offices where the unit director is, your case manager, your counselor. So there's a case manager that has all your files about you and your case. Then there's a counselor, and it's not like my childhood, my mother beat me when I was a kid. Not that kind of counselor. It's like the camp counselor. He kind of runs the building. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Most of those guys are overworked. They got 200 guys on their caseload, and they're not going to work for you. But some of them are nice, some of them aren't. That's another story. So anyways, I get to tour. It's 4 o'clock count coming. So everybody has to, it's a stand-up count. You got to be in your cubicle. You stand up. 2 guards count the whole camp. All 500 guys. They start with one building, and they go up and down each range, each hallway, and they count you. And if their count's off by one person, everything's shut down. They'll count again. They'll count again until they get it right. And sometimes they'll shut you down for hours because these guys, sometimes we used to say, they don't know how to count to 30. There's 30 guys in each range, and that they can't count past that. But anyways, they did their count, and then there's 2 buildings, like 200 in each building. So one building goes first to chow, and then the other one goes. So everybody meets, kind of gets, when they're done counting, they go clear. And then clear means you can come out of your cubicle, you go in the TV room, you can go email people, you whatever you want to do. You can't go outside until they've called for chow. So you don't have to go to chow. Some guys never eat there; they buy their own food. So, anyways, I went to chow. So I have these menus in federal prison. They put up a menu every week, and so it was a Tuesday when I went in. So I had missed lunch, but for lunch, what they had was a chicken parmesan with spaghetti with marinara sauce, spinach, garlic bread, dessert, fruit, and a beverage. Doesn't sound too bad. For dinner, what I had my first night there was a pork Italian sausage with oven brown potatoes, mixed vegetables on a hot dog bun with a beverage. And there was an all-you-can-eat salad bar at federal prison. I'm not sure if they have it at the mediums and that, but I know the lows do, and we had one. So got in line, I got my tray, you go along, they put a sausage link on there, which wasn't a bad Italian sausage, some onions and peppers, a hot dog bun, and these oven brown potatoes were like these homemade sliced real thin potato chips that they put in a deep fryer. They actually have deep fryers there, and they're pretty good. You know, they're kind of chewy and crispy at the same time with some seasoned salt on them. I like those house-made potato chips. And then I went to the salad bar, and it's a bag of lettuce with the carrots and the red cabbage mixed in. They had cucumbers and tomatoes in there. The dressing's not that great. It was some kind of cheap-ass Italian dressing. Sometimes they have ranch dressing. It's not the best stuff. Sometimes they have soup. They usually have some rice and beans, and they'll usually have kind of leftovers from the day before that you can eat. You can go back as many times as you want on the salad bar, and they do seconds. Once everybody's fed, people get in line and they get seconds. Sometimes it's only enough for 20 or 30 guys, maybe 50 guys. I've seen them do thirds and fourths. On Italian sausage night, they're seconds, but everybody gets in line, and so you might not get one. But it's a pretty good deal there. You're not going to go hungry in federal prison. If you got no money on your books, you're not going to go hungry. They're going to feed you. And if it has to do with going back to the salad bar and all that and filling up on, when they have like mashed potatoes and gravy in that salad bar, and you'd be surprised. Some of the stuff's not too bad. You're not going to go hungry. But there are a lot of ways to make money and get a hustle going. And I'll talk about that in another video. So I went to Chow. And I was kind of, okay, if this is the way the food is. Our food wasn't that bad at Florence. For a year there, we had a really bad cook. But the first year there, that was the last year, the end of the last year there, the food wasn't that bad. So then I got a tour of the prison. So we had classrooms. There was like 3 different classrooms where they had ACE classes. That's adult continuing education classes. And they have those during the night and during the day, and a lot of them are taught by inmates. I took a course on how to flip houses by a guy that was there for real estate fraud, stuff like that. They wanted me to do a class on tax preparation, and I'm there for tax preparation fraud. I wasn't going to teach that class. So then there's a law library. They had about 12 different electronic law digital computers where you can go and look up law stuff. And I spent a lot of time in the law library. It's kind of a peaceful place where you can go and write letters and stuff. The next room over is the rec room, where they have 3 TVs, 2 are for sports and 1's for news. The news, they do CNN every 2 hours, and then they switch over to Fox News every 2 hours. And I think they did MSNBC for 1 hour. So they kind of mixed it all up. There's an arts and crafts room in there. People are doing oil-based paintings and just making all kinds of arts and crafts. Some really good artists in there. I remember a guy who used to make these airplanes from scratch. And, I mean, these were really a really good job. So my favorite was the music room. We had 2 music rooms. One was the regular music room, and it had about 20 guitars on the wall. And you could go in there and just grab a guitar anytime you want and go play it. You can play it outside. You can play it in the music room. They worked the best guitars, but, there was one of the CEOs ran the rec room, and he would print up on the computer for me any kind of song I want. He'd print up the chords and the lyrics, and I even had a rock band. The next room over was the band room. So we had drums in there. We had amplifiers, microphones, keyboards, bass guitars, and regular guitars. And so I hooked up with these guys later on after I was there a while. And we had a couple nights a week where that was our room. We reserved it, and we played rock music. We had fun. And we did outdoor shows sometimes. And, oh, man, and I was always outside playing my guitar. That was my favorite room. The next room over was another rec room. They had 2 pool tables in there, regular pool tables, and then a huge gym with maybe 30 or 40 weight machines and the running machines, the treadmills, bicycles, all that, all kinds of machines like that. Volleyball, basketball, handball. Then there's outdoor weights, probably enough, about 40 people could be out there working out. We had all the free weights you want. And then we had a big softball field with a big track going around it. They had volleyball, they had horseshoes, and there's no fences. And you can walk the track, and you're right by the road, and you can almost see who's driving by in the car and wave to them. And I used to sit out there sometimes with my guitar and just watch the cars go by like I wasn't even in prison. And so it's like a high school campus. And then there's another there's a chapel where they have church services, and they do some classrooms in there, and that had a pretty big library. Then there's a little library we had in the rec room, just a few shelves with books. Then there's a big, the RDAP room or the day room or the visiting room, and that's where they let me have the AA meetings. I started some AA meetings there, because when I first got there, they didn't have AA. The warden helped me write some letters to AA and get some books, and we started some AA meetings. And so I'm going to an AA meeting tonight, matter of fact. So I haven't done any drugs in almost 4 years. I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to ruin my life. I don't want to make any more bad choices. I don't have to go back to prison. So by the end of the night, I had to go back for the 9 o'clock count. And my first day at federal prison was not that bad. I was at ease. I could breathe. I knew that I could do this thing. It was going to be all right. So I just want you to know you can do it too. I'm going to do a whole bunch more videos on what things are like. Your first day, you're going to make it. Nobody's going to beat you up, and you're going to make some friends. And I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to make any friends. You're going to make them. And I talked to some of them today. And you know what? I did some growing up there, and I did some soul searching, and it changed my life for the better. I got some better things happen to me by going to federal prison camp. I wouldn't have made it in the big league, but I made it through the camp, and you can too.